Good morning, parents. Happy Monday. Got a couple announcements, and as always, I think it's easier just to film the video than it is to send you a long email. So, recap of the weekend. Just about everything that could go wrong did with the scheduling nightmare. For one, I really do appreciate you guys getting your player to the gym at the correct gym at the correct time. And I do want to say Kim did a phenomenal job of communicating with everybody to let them know of the schedule changes. I mean, she was really on top of that. So obviously, we really do appreciate her effort in the situation. And with all of the time changes, that definitely did create, I guess, some communication breakdowns. We sent some emails and we definitely talked with the tournament about where we felt our teams were at. And, as I said in the parent meeting, we were going to challenge them and it was going to be a step up. But the goal was definitely not to be, out of our range to being overwhelmed. As late as Wednesday, we were correct. But then all of a sudden, by the time it gets to the final one, I guess with all the changes, things weren't. And look, I get it. When you're at a tournament like that, it's all about the 17s and 16s, and then the trickle down effect happens. So I understand it's not that big of a deal to me either way. I do want to make sure I put that tournament in perspective. Some of you guys have played travel or feeder, or some of you have even played AAU. That was not just your normal AAU tournament. That was a national tournament. That was about as high as you can be in terms of competition level and talent level, okay? So I don't want people to think that was just your normal run-of-the-mill AAU tournament. It wasn't. That was cream of the crop. That was top as it is, okay? With all that said, we're not going to go down to Indy this coming up weekend, okay? First, and most importantly, we have called down to the hotel that we had blocked off, and they have let us know that we could get a refund. So I do need everybody to call down and cancel your room today, tomorrow, or by Wednesday. We need to make sure we get that canceled, okay? Because this is 100%. We are 100% not going with the seventh graders, okay? I guess the question is kind of why not? Number one, that tournament is at the same level as what we just went into, okay, what we just played in. And to be quite honest with you, I think that if we went into it, then that starts to be more about me and my ego and what I'm trying to do. And I want us to be at some level or something that isn't really true. Look, we went where we were. We saw what was going on. I think it would be irresponsible with your players' development and with your resources to go back into the same thing that we just were at. Okay. There's nothing wrong with trying your hand. Don't get me wrong in saying that and being a competitor and things like that. There's nothing wrong with going out there and, hey, let's see what's going on. Even in an adverse situation where we're misplaced and in the wrong pool, whatever, doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with doing that. And let's keep this in perspective. It was their second tournament together, right? It was their fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth game that they played together as a team. It was high level, but by no means does that mean that that you still can't make the high school team. It doesn't mean that, when we've lost faith in your kid and in the program and, oh, my God, we need to take a look in the mirror. That is nowhere near where we're at right now. I wanted to see where we're at. And, again, my goal was to be one notch above. It was not to be, where I didn't really feel would be appropriate. But we don't need to go back down into that same situation, because I think if you keep doing that, it kills the team morale, and it also stifles development. And just honestly, it's not even fun. It's not even fun to watch. It's not even fun to coach. It's not even fun to play in. And that's not what we're trying to get accomplished here. Okay, I have not been consumed by this whole team thing where we're going to change who we are. I'm very comfortable with my program. I'm comfortable with how we do things. It was one weekend, and it's basketball. Whether you lose by 2 or you lose by 30, you lost. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I think we all see NBA games, and you see the Golden State Warriors, for example, and they won 143 to 112. Well, that team NBA teams got blown out by 30. So it's basketball. You're going to play games where you're going to lose by a lot. You're going to play games where you win by a lot. That's how this sport plays. So, as a staff, we definitely have this and have kept this in context, and we're focused on kids getting better. I'm not involved in all the rest of this stuff. This ain't about me, man. It's about your kid. It always has been. It always will be. So please understand that. I still believe 100% in the kids. I still believe 100% in the coaches. And we're going to get right back out there and we're going to play this weekend. So it's not like we're just going to tuck our tails and not do anything. We're going to play. This is basketball, man. This is how it goes. So please understand that, okay, that we are not irresponsible. We have not let the competitiveness or something just take us to a level that is just not correct and very inappropriate. That's not what this is about. This is about your player getting better and us using games to do that, okay? It was an adverse situation this weekend. Those things happen, but it's Monday now, so it's over with. So, we're going to move on, and I really want to make sure that everybody, parents included, players included, move on. That we're not getting hung up on our second tournament of the year as if that is going to be the narrative of our season. It's not how it goes, okay? So let's make sure we understand that. So what's that mean for this week? We'll still practice Wednesday at the normal time. Friday, we still do have to practice at 4 o'clock, okay? Reason being, this late in the game, we can't adjust the court time or the court schedule. So we do have to practice Friday at 4. 4 to 5:15 is when it'll be. Understand this. If you can't make it this Friday, I know there were some players that couldn't make it last Friday because they're traveling from different cities. I understand. I get it. That it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. All right. Do the best you can. Please get there if you can. But we will practice Wednesday, same time. Friday this week, 4 o'clock. And then on Thursday, we'll send out the schedule. I think we're just going to play on Saturday. Kim's working on that right now. Okay. Last thing that I do want to say is this. After Coach Andrews' team's last game, he was talking with the guys and telling them, hey, guys, we got to do this better, got to do that better. John Kirsch actually asked the coach if he could address the team. And I'm paraphrasing here, but what he said was, guys, we have to do a better job listening to coach. He's telling us to be on help side. He's telling us to pass out of the double team. And I'm sitting on the bench and we're not doing it at all. And he said, I'm not doing it either. So he's like, I'm not telling everybody you're not doing it and I am. None of us are doing it. Guys, we got to start listening and coming together on this. And then Kent Buckle steps in and says, yeah, he's right, guys. We get down 2 and we act like we're down 25. My point in sharing that is really this. We had our 7th grade girls and they won their tournament, and then actually the 7 Blue actually won theirs, and we're very happy for them. But if I'm most proud of anything this weekend, it was hearing that because basketball and life in general presents a lot of adversity. And when you're in an adverse situation, it's in our code. It says when in the midst of adversity, you find out who you are. And to hear that response from children, teenagers, I think was very mature and very motivating for us as a staff to understand that they are starting to understand that I don't know, and maybe the coach does. And that's a huge step. And I really want to make sure that you guys as parents are echoing that, because I get it. Once it starts getting adversity, everybody thinks that they got the right answer on what to do, and this is what we need to work on, and this is what it. I get all that. That's part of it too. But those players' responses, I think, were the most appropriate and the most correct. And those are the things that I want to see and that the coaching staff wants to see, because now we get to benchmarking that when we go into another situation that will be adverse, because that's what basketball is. Doesn't matter if you're up 10, down, the basketball is going to constantly present that to you. And so when we get in that now we can talk to them and say, hey, guys, remember when we were in that situation before? We don't want to respond how we did. Now let's respond like this. And I think that's going to be huge for their development. And so if that's what we took away from this weekend, then that was worth it to me. Better that than we went out and played and just blasted people by 50 and all that. Look, I don't think we need to do that every single weekend. I don't think that's correct. Again, I think that's pretty irresponsible. But for having to get dealt a bad hand and having to do the best that we could and let that be the response, I'm proud as hell, parents. And I really, really want you to understand that. And I really hope you guys understand that, I'm not caught up in the melee, man. Like, I'm caught up in your kid and your kid getting better. And that's what my staff is caught up in as well. So weekend's over. We're done with that. We're moving on. We got practice Wednesday. Now, this is also not going to be a situation where it's like, whatever, who cares? No, we want to be competitive. We want to compete. They have to definitely step up, and we're definitely going to make sure they understand that this isn't, it all is not just like, oh, it's all good. Like, no. We need to continue to get better, and that's part of it. Now, are you hustling all the time? Now you saw a different level of hard work. Now you saw a different level of speed. Do you want to, do your best job? And are you doing your best job every single second that you're out there? And I think now we really can all come together and to continue to help these boys get better at basketball, because that's the goal, man. The goal is them being better when they go back to their middle school teams. The goal is them making their high school teams. And then we will continue to set goals after we achieve those. And so we're fine. No big deal with anything. But I just definitely want to make sure that I communicate with you guys on just kind of what happened this weekend. But more importantly, that, as I said, we're going to make the adjustments. I think I said that during the parent meetings, and that's holding true. I mean, April was going to be tough, and it was, and we're going to make our adjustments, and we will. So none of this is something that has detracted me and gotten me off of course on what I am trying to get accomplished here, and what I'm trying to get accomplished is your kid getting better at basketball. So we'll get back in the gym. We'll get back to work. We'll get back in playing, and we'll get back into doing what we do, and we'll be just fine. So I really just want to make sure also that your messaging to your player is correct, and you're not either beating up on them or what I realized from those kids' response, from what John and Ken said, was we don't have an organization of losers. And I mean that in terms of mentality. When you get that kind of pessimistic, oh man, this kind of sucks, things that teenagers will do, right? We don't have that. We actually have some winners here. We have a winner mentality here, and that's a salute to you guys as parents, that they can understand and decipher between, what is it that's really going on here. And so with that winner's mentality, we will start to really feed that fire, because that's what they're going to need ultimately to continue to be successful on the basketball court, but in life in general, right? I mean, adversity is going to hit. I think we all know that as adults. Lord knows I'm going through enough of it with this facility, which, by the way, should be June 15th is what they're telling me now on when we should get in. They're hanging up the baskets. The flooring will start the first week of May. So we're well on our way, and we're getting there, okay? But just wanted to make sure I updated everybody on what's going on. I should be there Tuesday, might not. I'm trying to get this home built for us. But again, we're fine, parents. Nothing and nobody has lost faith or lost any trust or anything like that. We're going to get back to pushing the kids and showing them what they can do, and still believing in them the same way that we always have. So I hope everybody has a good rest of the day, has a good rest of the week. Please make sure you call down though and cancel the hotel. And then on Thursday, we will send out everything to you in terms of where we're playing. It'll be local, same sort of thing, where we're playing. And also Friday's practice will be 4:00 still. Please do your best to arrive and participate. If you can't, again, I understand it. Some of you guys contacted us last week. You just couldn't make it there at that time. And I get it. That's why I'm building a facility, so we don't run into these issues again. If you got any questions or any concerns or anything like that, please let me know. Other than that, have a great week. I'll see you in the gym. Thanks. Bye.